What happens after progress arrives? They keep telling you this is progress. Efficient, productive, cleaner, faster, smarter. They don't tell you what happens after the efficiency arrives, because here's the uncomfortable truth. For the first time in human history, we are building machines that don't just replace tasks, they replace workers. Not someday, not in science fiction, now, and whether you admire Elon Musk or hate him is irrelevant. Because if he's even half right about what he's building, the American labor market does not survive in its current form. The system does not bend, it breaks. How big is the change really? Let's start with scale, because scale ends debates. Elon Musk has said Tesla intends to build Optimus robots at a scale measured not in thousands, not millions, but hundreds of millions, eventually a billion. A billion general-purpose humanoid robots. Let that number sit. The entire US labor force is under 170 million people. Even 100 million robots would be the largest labor shock in recorded history. Not outsourcing, not a new tool, not a smarter machine. A parallel workforce that doesn't sleep, doesn't strike, doesn't age, and doesn't bargain. And unlike past automation waves, these machines are general purpose, vision-based, reasoning-enabled, continuously improving, replicable at marginal cost. This isn't about replacing drivers, or warehouse workers, or factory jobs. It's about replacing the concept of wage labor itself. Why is this time different from every other automation wave? Every automation wave comes with the same reassurance. It will create new jobs. That only works when machines replace muscle or narrow tasks. Optimus doesn't replace muscle. It replaces the need for a human to be there at all. AI doesn't replace one job. It replaces layers of cognition, coordination, supervision, and execution, simultaneously. The difference isn't speed, it's completeness. When a machine can see, reason, move, learn, and replicate, there is no natural floor it stops at. And once capital owns labor itself, labor has nothing left to sell. Who owns the robots? This is the first fork, and the one most people never ask. Who owns the robots? The honest answer: at first, corporations. Not workers, not communities, not households, corporations. Because robots are expensive capital goods, they are financed, depreciated, leased, bundled, and optimized. And because the company that owns the AI stack controls the updates, the limits, and the capabilities. Ownership concentrates first. It always does. That's not evil. That's how capital deployment works, but concentration sets the trajectory, and trajectories compound. Who captures the abundance? Abundance will exist. Goods get cheaper. Production skyrockets. Efficiency explodes. But cheaper goods don't pay rent. Efficiency doesn't buy healthcare. Productivity doesn't secure dignity. If robots are owned by a narrow class, abundance becomes asymmetric. Prices fall for things, costs rise for life, profits concentrate, wages collapse. The economy grows while people feel poorer. Numbers improve, lives don't. That's not collapse, that's decay. What has that looked like before? History is full of societies that were highly productive and fatally brittle. Late Roman Republic and Empire, enormous productivity and wealth, concentrated land ownership, displaced labor, and a permanent underclass. The economy functioned until legitimacy didn't. Pre-revolutionary France, an advanced agrarian and commercial economy, but ownership locked into a narrow elite. Bread was cheap, but consent was gone. Weimar Germany, pair mass dislocation and status collapse. Gilded Age America, explosive productivity, extreme concentration, labor unrest, and institutional crisis, until ownership reforms became unavoidable. Productive economies inside brittle societies don't fail immediately. They fracture, they radicalize, they overcorrect. None of them ended well. If wages die, what replaces them? Here are the real options. No fantasies, no slogans. Do we just pay people? UBI, cash transfers, stipends, monthly checks. It keeps people alive, prevents unrest, buys time. But it doesn't create agency, doesn't tie income to production. Over time, it creates a permanent dependency class that knows it is no longer needed. UBI stabilizes systems, it does not legitimize them. Do we invent work? Job guarantees, public works, artificial labor. This preserves the language of work, but not the reality. You cannot invent meaningful labor at scale once machines outperform humans at scale. Eventually, effort becomes performance, and performance breeds cynicism. Do we tax the machines into submission? Robot taxes, capital taxes, aggressive redistribution. This treats automation as a threat to cage. It slows innovation, encourages evasion, requires expanding enforcement, it fights gravity. Or do we change who owns the machines? Broad ownership of productive capital, not charity, not handouts, not socialism. Ownership, robot dividends, capital income. Citizen ownership of AI productivity. People benefit because they own the machines replacing them. Work becomes optional, but contribution doesn't disappear. Income decouples from hours, not from production. Dignity without coercion. Is ownership really the core issue? No single policy solves everything. But here's the truth few say out loud. Every system without ownership reform becomes heavier, louder, and more coercive over time. Every system with ownership reform can remain lighter, freer, and more resilient. Ownership isn't the solution, it's the keystone. UBI can support it, public services can complement it, education can amplify it, but nothing replaces it. Because automation ends the wage system by math, not ideology. So what is the real choice? It's about consent. Can a society remain legitimate when most people own no share of production? Do we evolve ownership or evolve instability? There is no third door. Ask for ownership where you work. If they say no, ask why. If they still say no, look for a company that will say yes. If you can't find one, start a brokerage account and self-fund your ownership. Forge the future. Ownership is the way. The Republic needs you. Before we close, I am not a financial advisor. This content is for educational and informational purposes only.